Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends Morg. This is the figure that was a pack-in for Galactus, and he's getting his own review because he is a brand new figure. Everything on him is brand spanking new. So I thought it was only fair that I give him his own time to shine. If you guys want me to review Frankie Ray or Silver Surfer, let me know. I don't know that those two really warrant it. It's just a blank body for both of them. There's nothing really going on, but you guys can let me know and I'll do it if you want. But this guy definitely needs it. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. And this guy stands just about 17.5 centimeters. That's going to make him pretty close to, let's say, 6 7/8 inches. He's got a little bit of size on him, not a ton. Let's just do a quick comparison against Darwin because he's got some hair for Darwin to sniff, and I think he would appreciate it. So he's a little bit taller there. And let's do a quick comparison against Morph because they have similar names, and Morph is on that Vulcan body, just a touch taller than Morph also. So there you go, a little bit of size to him, and such a wonderful sculpt. I can't stress enough how I've been begging Hasbro, not personally, but in my reviews, to make figures look like comic characters. I'm not talking about the red skin and everything, I'm talking about the proportions. Look how big his chest is compared to his waist. Look at his shoulders, they're large, they're up high, they're not lower than the pecs. He's got muscular thighs, he's got a skinny waist, he's got skinnier knees and ankles, he's got overall everything the way we want it. Could it be tweaked? There's always something you could tweak, sure, but this isn't the kind of thing where it's worth doing. It's not some of these figures where I have to change them entirely to get them to look like comic book characters. This is what it's supposed to be. This is what it should be. Look at the shape of his legs. They actually look muscular. You can't even see his... Oops. You can't even see his butt, but you can tell he's got a muscular physique. I bring up the butt because the thighs and the butt are notable in people who are very strong. You can't have strong body without those muscles being strong, like overall. So it's important to note those things. We don't normally get those kind of things, but this guy has it. Look how big his chest is. Look at that. You can see his chest is big and muscular. It's lower than the shoulders. That's nice. Shoulders don't come down too far. I mean, you have to give some leeway, so it's okay. You can see back here, his lats actually stick out where lats would stick out, so that from the front, it gives that shape where it goes like that. It's not up front doing that, it's in the back, and that's where it's supposed to be. That's good. Up front, it's nice and narrow. You can see where his rib cage comes in. You can see his narrower trunk. That's exactly how it's supposed to look. His head's not freaking huge. Almost every Marvel Legends head is so damn big. Yeah, look, skinny-ass Darwin, who's shorter, has a head that's slightly larger than Morg. This looks so much better. Thank you, finally, Hasbro, for making a figure that looks like it came out of the comics. This, overall, is the proportion setup we should have seen for Colossus. His head doesn't sit too high. Like, everything is where it's supposed to be. His traps work the right way. The traps come down to the top of the shoulder to look like traps and to make the shoulder look proper, where the collarbone connects up here, technically. So it's like... you can have articulation and cut things up, but still make it look right, and they did that here. I'm so pleased. So pleased with that. He is pinless throughout, so if you like that, that's cool. If anybody didn't need to be pinless, it was this guy for the arms. You can't see his arms under here, but also he's got the lumps everywhere, so you wouldn't even notice. But they did sculpt that as well, of course, and that looks pretty good. There's a wash going on throughout. He's in this red color and then he's washed, and that looks pretty good. Could be, you know, a little bit cleaner, more purposeful. Maybe hit it with a dry brush to bring it to life if you're into customizing things, but it looks good. The face is sculpted well. The mouth and everything looks nice. It's painted cleanly. I like it. I hate his hairstyle. I've never liked the way this guy looked just because of that hair. And I get it. He's supposed to look weird, but it's a good hair sculpt. It looks like there's some shading in there. Yeah, there is. So that's good. I like that. It looks good. Like, the silvers are just molded. They could use some paint, but it's fine. The legs could use some paint for sure. It's just molded. Really, we only see paint up here. I mean, there's a little bit on his cod piece and his butt piece, but other than the wash and the eyes, there's not much going on paint-wise. A little bit would have gone a long way, but at least the silver they used is nice. It's not super noticeably marbly, and it is very, very shiny. So, I'll take it. But yeah, it could be a little bit better. But aesthetically speaking, he gets bonus points for the proportions. For sure. So many nice bonus points for those proportions. The sculpt back here is nice too. I didn't mention that. So, proportions-wise, aesthetic-wise, I'm going to go 9 out of 10. The right sculpt goes a long freaking way. I would like some shading, and that would get him up to a 10, but it's still really, really good. It's so simple to just make them look like comic book characters. They can do it. We've seen it now. They have no excuse. They have no excuse otherwise. Alright, as far as accessories go, he only gets his axe. He does not have an effect part, which is super lame, because his axe does glow reddish purple, or pinkish, whatever you want to call it. And the other guy's got him. Silver Surfer has his purple stuff. Fire Lady has her fiery stuff. He's got no glow, which bothers me, so that's a bummer. But he does get the axe. No fist hands or anything. 5 out of 10 for accessories. That's disappointing. Now, as far as articulation goes, what did they do? Did we do ball pegs? Feels like it. Yes, ball pegs. They still didn't do a great job, but they did a better job than they have. You can see that it's a bigger ball. It's higher up and a narrower peg, so you get a decent amount of range. The big peg up here is fine. There's a reason why I don't prefer to have a big peg at the top. You don't need it as much, and it does make the head have to sit a certain way. On this one it worked out okay, but you do get less range as a result. Actually, should I show? I'll show you. I don't want to give away too much here, but I'll show you on my prototype. I'm not going to be able to pull it out. Of course, it's stuck on that half when I pulled on it. I know it's clear. You're not going to be able to see too well, but you'll be able to see better than not being able to see at all. So let me pull this out. And these parts are all rough because they're just 3D printed rough prototypes. That's the shape I do for my neck joint. And that's because almost all of the motion happens down here, and then this ball peg is just for adjustment. And it's a small peg so that it doesn't take up extra space in the head, and I can get it closer to the neck without having a ridiculously long peg. So that's how that works on that guy. And if you want to see, I'll put a video up in that corner that shows you how that neck joint actually works on one of the older prototypes, and you'll see how it's a good thing. Okay, so anyway, it's fine though. This is okay. I'll take it. A double ball peg is a way to go. His hair gets in the way, of course, but you can definitely give him some nice attitude type poses. I love it. Shoulders all the way up to the side. Of course, you can't go any farther because of his spikes. That's fine. Full rotation, no problem there. Bicep swivel, that's fine. No issues there. Double jointed elbow, really good range on a thick, chunky guy. I'll take it. Some effort went into this one. I like it. Wrist swivel up here. Nothing for the gauntlet. Of course, the wrist itself does have a swivel and a hinge. His wrist is pretty loose and doesn't have a vertical hinge. Does this side? This side at least does have a vertical hinge. So I'll take that. That's good. His torso is just a ball peg, and that's fine. Like, yeah, you could get more range if you had 2 ball pegs, but it does lean forward and back pretty well. Side to side pretty well. Full rotation. That should be fine. For anybody who's not like crazy dynamic like Spider-Man, that should be okay, and it does look really good. None of the belt pieces move. Like, this is... It's floating, but... I don't think it's meant to rotate with the torso. I think it's keyed. Yeah, it is. There you go. I thought it felt keyed. You see that in there? I don't know if you can. Yeah, the silver is keyed into the brown, so the silver is not moving anywhere. For the hips, which, by the way, look wonderful. Look, they don't stick out on the sides. I've been saying that, too. Stop making this part stick out past the top part, and they did, finally. So that's good. See, complaining works. I mean, I don't know if they're watching my videos, but they keep changing things that are the things I've been complaining about. I guess it could be coincidence. I don't know. We don't get splits, but it's far enough. I'll take it. It's better than 45 degrees. You could have gotten a little bit more, but I think that's still fine. Bringing the leg forward. Look at that. It goes up to horizontal, even with a thicker leg and no gapping. It can be done. I've been saying that. It works. It's good. This is one of the best figures they've released in a long time. Like, this is better than Galactus. Let's just put it out there. Galactus can't look down. Everybody keeps trying to justify it in my comment section. Galactus doesn't need to pose. He needs to look down. He needs to raise his arms forward. You paid for the articulation. It's in there. Thigh swivel is fine. Double jointed knee, a little bit limited due to the sculpt, but it's because of these things. So that's fine. That's good. Ankle goes all the way back, and it can't go that far forward due to the character design, so it's a little bit limited in that regard. Decent enough ankle rocker. So articulation on this guy, 9. I'll give him a 9 for what it is. Because he's thicker, he doesn't need as much range, but it is there mostly. I mean, you could go 8 if you want, but it's better than most Marvel Legends. It's good. I like it. So overall rating on this guy, I'll give it to you after I talk about Galactus for a second, because he came with Galactus. You paid for the articulation. He has the joints, he has the shoulders, he has the torso articulation, he has the knees, everything else. You paid for it. It should work. Stop justifying that it doesn't need to work. If it doesn't need to work, it shouldn't be there, and you shouldn't have paid for it. It should have been a statue with arms and a head that move. That's it. If you didn't want it to work, why would you pay for something and then say, well, I didn't need it? That's like buying a sports car and then the engine not working. You only get 4 cylinders out of 8. Well, I don't need to go that fast. You paid for it. Get what you pay for, guys. Stop justifying things. Galactus can't look down. The tallest action figure ever made by Hasbro. He can't look down. Stop justifying it. Okay, time for the final rating after that perfectly justified rant. This is one of the best Marvel Legends they've released, Hasbro has released ever. It's a fairly basic design, and it's a fairly basic figure, but it doesn't take much to make it that much better. It's so much better than most things. I'm going to give this figure a final rating of 9 out of 10. It could be better. There could be improvements, particularly more paint, things like that, adjustments here and there, but this is one of the best Marvel Legends they've made ever, and especially in a very long time. So I'm very, very pleased that they included this guy. I don't really care about the character, but I'm glad to own the figure. That's the thing. Like, if you make a good figure about a character nobody cares about, people will want it more. If you make a bad figure of a character that somebody does care about, there's a good chance they still won't want it because it's not good. Hasbro needs to reprioritize what they're doing, I think. And I think the sales back up what I'm saying, but who knows? We'll see how that goes. So anyways, there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about all the things I said in this video and about the figure, and we'll talk in the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed, you might want to. I have new videos almost every single day, basically every day but Wednesday, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that, and in the meantime, keep collecting.